Hi everyone, this is Father John and welcome to the 12th Sunday of Ordinary Time. And try to do a short, simple one here. These readings are basically about trusting God, especially in difficult times. And so we have this first reading from Job, and the story of Job. And the point is with this story is Job is innocent, right? And so we're getting to the very conclusion of the reading in this first reading. And he's maintaining his innocence despite the fact that he's lost his family, he's lost his fortune, and now even he himself is physically suffering. And this is a debate going on between God and the devil, and Job is just kind of caught in the crosshairs. And God is saying to the devil, like, look, Job, he's loyal to me. And the devil's like, no, he's not. Just let's take away all this stuff. And so they did. And then God says, look, he's still loyal to me. And then the devil's like, no, let's just give him a sickness and an illness and this sort of thing, and then he won't be loyal to you. None of this is known to Job. Okay, so this is the first thing. We don't always understand our situation, even if we think we do. There is a spiritual battle going on outside that we're just not always 100% aware of. Okay, and so that's the first thing. We have to trust in God. Job lost everything. Job lost everything, and he has 3 friends to comfort him, and who needs enemies when you have friends like this to comfort him? And they're all just telling him, yeah, you messed up somehow, you got to just admit it, you messed up, you sinned, you did wrong, you're being prideful, you're being vain, just admit it. And the guy's sitting there literally rotting. I mean, he's lost everything, and his skin is like, he's got boils and everything, and like, this is the best, this is what his friends are giving him, and in the end, God does come and does say that the 3 friends were wrong. But again, God is also telling Job, like, who were you? Where were you when I did the following things? And that's the reading that we get today. Were you there when I created? Were you there? Do you know how these things are made? Do you know really what's going on with your situation? Because Job was complaining a lot. And sure enough, Job, it's not in this reading, he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know what the big picture was. And sure enough, everything is restored to Job. And that brings us to the gospel today, which is Jesus gets on the boat with his disciples, and Jesus is asleep. And a squall comes, and this giant storm, and the disciples think they're going to perish. And again, how often in our lives do we think that maybe God's not there, everything feels like a cruel joke? We've all gone through suffering. People have lost people that they love so much, and it just feels like, God, where are you? And because we don't understand the complete plan, I don't think we have the capability really to understand the complete plan that God has in store for us. Oftentimes we can complain. Oftentimes we have those kind of friends, right, who are just saying, like, yeah, you must have done something wrong. You must have done something to deserve this. And we can get that bad advice, and after a while we start to doubt God's goodness, which I think is something that's really big these days. I think with the problem of evil, people are starting to doubt God's goodness. Like, there must be something wrong. He's all powerful, he's all knowing, and he's all good, and yet these bad things still happen. So one of those things must not be the case. Either he doesn't know, he's not all powerful, or he's not all good. And this is typically something that skeptics will say. And so he must not all be good. But we hear in today's gospel, when Jesus wakes up, he's wondering why his apostles are so afraid. He calms the storm, and then he asks them, why were you afraid? I'm with you. So in this life, it doesn't mean that we're not going to have suffering. It doesn't mean that things aren't always going to go the way that we want them to go. However, God is here for us, and he works for the good of those who love him. So as we're looking out in our world today, and things can look pretty shady, when we look in our own family situations, and there's suffering, and maybe people are turning to us because we're the Catholics, we're the ones who are saying we follow God, and they're saying, well, where's God? Why is he allowing these sorts of things? We just have to remember to trust God. That in the end there is a plan, and though the storm looks like it's going to engulf the boat, Jesus is going to be there for us. He is here for us. And we just need to continue to persevere. And he's the one who is helping us persevere. If you're watching this video right now, okay, if we're at Mass right now, we're only here because God has allowed us to be here. He's the one who is giving us strength. He's the one who's giving us perseverance. And we just have to pray for that continued grace of perseverance, to continue to stay in His presence, to continue to pray for others, because God will deliver us, and one day we will see Him in heaven face to face.